Marcy, you want to sit here?
Yeah, I can sit here.
Okay.
I think I volunteered.
You did.
We don't have a, do you recall, do we have a vice chair? I don't think
I don't think we do.
I think you volunteered though.
Yeah, sure.
We have you.
You stepped up, the rest of us were like,
That's right, we were not replying.
I didn't see that email. All right, well, let's call to order, and we'll take roll. Di. Here. Marcel and Joanne are out. Jeff. Here. Robertson Cross. Here and here.
hmm?
Great. And next up, approval of last month's minutes. Did you guys get a chance to read them at all? I realized I hadn't sent them. That's my fault for sending them late, but we can save them for next meeting if you don't feel like.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Okay, with that meeting.
Give you a chance to read them. We'll table that till next time. Okay. And then the main item of business. We are talking about the CSU brownfields proposal and the schedule surrounding it, right? So, we don't have,
No,
yes,
they could not be here tonight. They did tell Tara that they're traveling, but they sent her the agenda ahead of time. I don't know if everybody got that.
Yes.
yeah, the proposed schedule. I think that's what you're talking about.
Yep.
Or, that's the scope of work. I think there was a proposed schedule as well.
Oh, then I didn't get it.
And
Well,
it
then
was-
I did get it, just on page 3.
Oh, okay, I don't know if this, so this is very general, this is a little more specific.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
So this got sent out, with our agenda.
Today at 4:30?
No,
No,
this
it was one of
this
the
was
first
Tara's,
ones.
yeah, one of the first ones,
Oh.
It's not the first one.
but, yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks.
So, we'll wait on that, I suppose.
Is that what you were looking for, sir?
Yes, indeed. Do we have any general comments on the timeline?
There's one change, which, I don't know, maybe a couple people saw an email from Tom Fisher, and he is no longer gonna be in town at all that week, so we said we'd arrange something for him to meet with them, shortly after
Yep.
they're here.
Okay. And can you refresh my memory who's on Tom Fisher?
He is, he's a local, he's
Housing.
also a developer.
That's right.
and we've been working with him on different properties.
That's right, yep.
So that one's easily, since it's the first day and, right after they get here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll work that out, since it's just one person, really.
So other than that, so that's removed. The team arrives in Billings, still looking at somewhere in the afternoon probably. And, be here in the afternoon. And then events start Wednesday, it looks like, Wednesday the 28th. And we have an all-day schedule. What do you
But
guys?
I think the big thing for you guys is that they'd like to meet with you first thing in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think maybe, if I remember right, later on Thursdays.
Yeah, so at 9 in the morning, meet with the URA board, that's us, and then,
Yeah, 4 o'clock on Thursday also.
yes,
Jeremy, it's worth noting that that night at 5:30 to 7:30 is actually the planning board.
Oh,
It will be otherwise engaged.
good to know. If we held this at RLACF, would that matter?
Also, yeah, 'cause we can't. As far as a community meeting?
Right.
I mean, we could do it there, we could do it at Roosevelt.
Oh, that's what I meant, the Roosevelt.
Yeah. Their, conference room should be available by then.
Do you think the conference room, or we held our,
Well, it might need to be out in the auditorium, yeah.
I was gonna say, we held the, resort tax, town halls. in
Yeah,
Auditorium,
get a lot more people in the auditorium.
yeah, and we could easily fill it, I think, maybe. But,
The senior center may also be available,
that's true.
and they don't charge us, so.
RLACF, or Senior Center. Do you see a problem with having that at the same time as planning board? Just from a,
I was gonna suggest that it would probably be pretty good if the planning board could be part of
Part of
the
it.
vision state session, so, maybe that's something to reschedule the planning board meeting, or make that part of the planning board meeting, or, but to have a visioning meeting with it's community-wide, talk about what people or the community is envisioning for the URD, that's probably pretty important. Planning board hears that conversation.
I think so too.
What do you think?
I think I would, probably, recommend they cancel their meeting that night or schedule this to Thursday if it's not.
That's actually, at the 28th, that'd actually be our second meeting for the month, which is typically a work session, not.
And we do have a, although I think they said it would be a couple months before the subdivision would get to us. I know they're having the pre-meetings.
what do you think? Should we stick with this Wednesday and kind of lean on planning board to maybe participate?
Well, that's something, maybe it could be, the next planning board meeting is next Wednesday. So it probably could be, I'll send a note to Al. I'm not gonna be there in person. Hopefully I'll be able to Zoom in.
Okay.
So you won't be there, so either Al will bring it up or I can raise it.
Do you have any comments on the rest of that schedule, Mr. Mayor? As far as, like, the afternoon meeting with city staff and such?
I was looking at it to see, so Tuesday is council day, and then Wednesday is the planning board day. So those are the two things that I saw that were conflicts. I do not see any other conflicts on Thursday or Friday.
But as far as Wednesday, like we have on here, 2:00, meeting the Public Works Department.
I don't see a problem with that.
Okay. And then the following day, meeting with the business community. We have a good point of contact for organizing around that, are gonna contact the chamber?
I think your chamber would be your best point, or, like the business alliance that I think met today at noon. I'm not even sure who's chair on that right now, maybe Steve Gannon?
Follow up there. Two o'clock engagement with high school students or additional community-wide meeting.
Do they need contact for the high school students, or is that one a reach out to them? I don't know that one either.
I think John Fitzgerald is, aware, I think, we can touch base with him.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah, Red Lodge Area Community Foundation. Are you talking about contacts or?
Yeah, in general, yeah, but,
Is there any chance that at the first community meeting, there will be a lot of unfinished discussion, which could go into a second meeting on that Thursday? I mean, it would be great to think that the community meeting is held and everybody goes away saying, yeah, but I suspect that may not be true.
it's possible.
So just maybe leave a placeholder for a second community meeting. It might be needed.
Okay, so that would be possibly at the high school, could that be? I don't know, organized.
In the gym, play a little basketball.
Yeah, loosen everybody up.
So like the second meeting at the high school, is that what you're thinking, Mitch?
I don't,
It does say on here, meeting with high school students or additional community-wide meeting, and I'm wondering if those could possibly be combined or if needed.
Mm-hmm.
But then it would probably be hosted at the school, I would think.
How
Or maybe
long does that go, Jeremy? What's the next thing?
We got 2 o'clock is that high school, and then 4 o'clock is meet back with us to discuss preliminary results.
so it allows 2 hours, it looks like.
So they could potentially, meet with high school students for an hour and then community for an hour.
Quite honestly, it's hard to imagine high schoolers caring all that much to meet for more than an hour, but maybe they will.
Although it's a tough week, because it's right before graduation.
Right.
You're not gonna get a lot of retention. I don't think that's finals. It might be finals week even.
Okay. And then Friday, additional meetings as needed and depart by 11:30. Any comments?
I would wonder, are we planning for the Kansas folks to meet with property owners?
Well, they'd be invited to the public meeting.
They would be invited.
Yeah. Property owners specifically within the district or just in general?
I think within the district,
Yeah.
Sure.
would be my sense, but
Mm-hmm. Do you think that could be just advertised as
Sure.
part of the public
Sure.
meeting in general? Or do we want like a special specific ask to?
Something you could put on the chamber chat? Because those on Mondays. Yeah, I don't know, possibly. I bet you could. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had on our previous discussion to have a Carbon County News article too. So that could be a specific ask.
I think it'd be really good to reach out to the individual landowners if you can.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
And what
I'm
form would
just
that take?
What do you think?
trying to think how productive it's gonna be. I know one of them that we've been monitoring frequently and talking to frequently and regularly. I don't know that he'd be inclined to show up at all. I wonder if they did the community thing, he might, we'll give him a specific invitation for it.
I don't know how, I'm sorry, I don't.
No,
what-
please.
Is it okay that I'm?
Oh,
Yeah.
talking?
I hope so.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know what the protocol was here. Why don't we ask, and I made a note, I can ask KSU, team if they want to meet, like, I don't know how much time and how in-depth they're gonna get, or if this is just kind of the first, hey, we're gonna look at everything, and then we'll contact people. And if they say, yeah, that would really be helpful, then maybe we can reach out and get a little more with that. How's that?
I said, when I think of it, there's two major property owners there that Joanne and I are kind of tag teaming, so.
Well, that's something we could put in our survey as well, is, you know, do you live within the boundary of the
Sure.
district?
Yeah.
And we can kind of parse to see if there's any difference of opinion on all
That's
the
a good
questions.
idea.
How much, when we look at business community and that north community entrance, that, in fairness, is our stakeholders there.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think what other, there's not a lot of businesses in there right now.
There's Sam's, the hospital.
I don't think Sam's or the hospital are in it, or are they?
I thought they were.
Sam's might be,
Yeah.
you know, they might be at the end.
I think Sam's is the hospital mall.
Hospital, I don't think is, but I'd have to,
In any case.
yeah, you just did the map up.
I did do the map. Did you guys get that? And it's, okay. Good. I didn't hear anything back after I sent it, so.
What's the map, Jeremy?
Yeah, I just highlighted a few
Do you have a
areas of
hard
interest.
copy of that?
No, I don't. I could,
I talked to Tom about getting a camera in there, and he basically just that's what he wanted, was a map, and he asked where the areas would be
oh, okay.
to go get drone.
Do you want me to forward it to you again? Just so it's,
I can go look for it again. No, I won't do it now, because I've got that up there.
okay. Okay, so as far as our actions to take, will be hammering down a location, whether that's Roosevelt or Senior Center, for the community-wide meeting. It would be great to have our survey done and ready by then, at least. What do you guys think about that?
Mhm.
I know, the KSU staff kind of suggested, hinted that they have some experience building those. So maybe we can kind of pick their brain a little bit as a starting spot.
Maybe they have a template and we can
Yeah.
edit specific.
Mm-hmm. And then, other than that, I think the schedule looks pretty great. Get in touch with John Fitzgerald, see if we can engage the high school a little bit. And either way, a second community meeting might be worth keeping in the,
Space for it.
yeah, exactly. I like that. Especially since it's at a different time. There might be people that can make that one that couldn't make the other.
When do you plan to disperse the survey, and how? Has that been discussed?
We haven't gotten into details on it. I know with the resort tax survey, we had it in the paper, we put it on social media quite a bit. I think we had it on the webpage, and shared through the various links there. And I think that's really all we did. I don't know that we did mailings or anything. Yeah.
Did you do a resort tax survey this year?
No, it's
Oh.
still kind of on our plate. No,
Okay.
this was back in 18 or whatever it was.
Just wondering if I missed something.
Yeah. I was just looking back at the minutes that we didn't approve yet.
Yeah.
the need to establish dates for one was survey availability, 2 site visit, and 3 was community meeting. So we, 2 of those, but the survey,
Yep.
yes, that's when we,
Yeah, so survey timing, it sounded like we were all good to meet on the 25th at 3.
I can't, I'm the only one, but
Okay,
I'll be on my way home from Colorado.
so maybe that can be kind of our prime discussion topic on the 25th is,
In the middle of nowhere in Wyoming.
I will not be here on the 25th, so
Okay.
we'll need to have somebody else run that meeting.
Will that be in your court?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just confirming we don't have,
And I think it was any time after 3, Joanne said too, so we could, it doesn't have to be at 3 o'clock on that day, right?
oh, yeah, because if it's 3 o'clock, then they're already here, so the room will be open.
Gotcha, right.
That is no, that's not, it's never mind.
The 25th at 3 is potentially available.
3 is not a problem, I'll just make sure we get it on the calendar.
Okay. So kind of think about some survey questions in the meantime. I think are you in the district is a good obvious starter.
I think so many people in our community have zero idea what URD even means.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No clue.
Not a clue.
Do you think it would be worth typing up maybe a
Yes.
2-paragraph
Yeah.
summary
Yes,
of
for sure.
here's what it means?
Here's what you voted on, yep.
Yeah.
this was passed in
Mhm.
Here's the context of these
twenty
questions.
twenty-two.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think people remember about 2022 is the flood.
Yeah, a brief summary of
Mhm.
the URD and its purpose would be great
Exactly.
to include. And then if we could get that out by, as soon as possible, I would think, and then just get it published
think-
around. And
Yeah.
if we get it out soon enough, we could potentially share some results and gather more feedback at the community meeting. Like, here's what you all thought. That was useful for the resort tax one anyway. And it gets people thinking like, oh, yeah, that is probably.
Would you like me to contact them and ask them if they have, template or past surveys that have been useful?
That would be great, or if
That'd be
there's like,
helpful.
yeah, particularly in,
Other questions that
right,
that'd be
or an environment that they use. Find that works well, SurveyMonkey or whatever. Any other thoughts on that?
Is there a 30-day, Mayor, Mr. Mayor, is there a 30-day requirement for public notice for the meeting, or
For what?
public notice for this meeting?
2 days,
Only 2 days? Okay,
48 hours.
so we have time.
Be nice to have it out
It would be,
more than 48 hours.
well, yeah, see, we're coming up next week on the, well, almost 1 month out, so.
Yeah,
Should probably think about an article in the paper.
We talked about that, didn't we? Yeah.
that might go,
At least a week before.
kind of hand in hand with our brief summary of the URD.
Mm-hmm.
Throw that in there for
I
sure.
thought Tara volunteered to do the article.
I think I heard her volunteer for that.
I'm sure she did.
She sent her email, she sent her email to Phil, to go ahead and volunteer her for things, so.
But you had something?
The only thing I was going to say is that I think I probably would encourage, if it's possible, to, cancel or change that planning board meeting, because I really do feel like it's important for those people to be here, and, I think it'll be more useful even than another meeting.
I agree, absolutely. Not to invite them is sort of a snub.
Well, you know, I think anything we do pretty much has to go in front of them anyway, so they should be part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Are you willing to carry our general consensus to the?
Yeah,
He has to report it to me.
I'll send Al a note this evening before I leave town and give him a heads up.
That's good. Other than that, do we want to move on to the next topic?
I would hope we would get a good turnout, and just, I think so many people in town are living.
I think that's accurate. We can all rabble rouse.
So just to sum up, those, the two important things are the, article and the survey, getting them both.
Yep.
Article probably after, you know, closer to the meeting time than the survey we need to get going on.
Yeah, it'd be great to have that kind of boxed up by our next meeting,
Yeah.
or during our next meeting.
I'll sit down and print it out.
Okay.
And am I right in thinking the article would then precede the survey? Because if people have heard something about what's happening,
In the
they're
article,
much more
yeah.
likely to fill out the survey.
And
And if
also
it
people
comes
show up at your
cold.
meeting too, if it's been in the paper before they get here.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
I
Makes
don't think you have to wait to put out the survey though, because I think you could put it out, have the article come out, and that'll
Collecting.
hopefully
Yeah.
generate
Generate
more.
interest in it, yeah, as
Yeah.
long as we,
That's kind of my thought, is just keep collecting for as wide a time range as possible.
Yeah.
more likely to get more responses.
Mhm.
Next item is old business, report on Senate bills impacting tax increment finance. I don't have anything super up to date, other than I saw Senate Bill 2 is still up for discussion, I believe.
Yeah, one was killed, wasn't it? It just didn't move forward. Senate Bill 1.
I believe that's correct.
Last time I looked at it, it didn't sound like it moved into the second part of the session.
Let's see. Yeah, Senate Bill 2, scheduled for a third reading. We'll keep an eye on that one.
Read the languages.
Yeah, this was the one that, bring it up here. That kind of defines areas of blight.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
Right.
I remember. Yeah, have to read the whole thing.
Okay. It's,
I do not see SB 1 or 2 on this tracking sheet at all. Oh, wait, no, you're just reorganized.
like it says there. I don't know how good their web page is, but they've been pretty decent as far as the. Yeah, SB 2 still alive. SB 1 has passed. Oh, sorry, SB 1 is the blighted area. SB 2.
Right,
SB 2 is the tax increment
Right.
what you can do with, yeah.
expiration of that.
Yep, and that one.
League is still opposing.
Yeah. So that's right.
I don't think they changed the blight. I mean, the SB 1 with blight, I don't think that went forward, so, which means we'd be back to the original definition.
It's sent to the governor.
Really?
Yep.
I haven't looked at it for a couple of weeks.
Yep, got out of the house 98-0 on March 18th. So, we'll keep an eye on Senate Bill 2. Definitely being opposed.
That's the one that deals with tax increment financing.
Mm-hmm. And what happens when a TIF, closes or runs out its, purpose.
Oh, this looks like it has been signed by the governor on 1.
SB one?
2 is the one that was problematic.
Yep. All right, other than that, treasurer's report, we don't have anything new unless the county sent over new numbers, as far as you know. And written correspondence or any audience comments.
Do you two have any petitions you'd like to move forward?
Should I start?
Sure.
Okay, I think that's all we got. 25th, 3 p.m. is our next one.
You're included on that email, so.
Great. And if there's nothing else, we can adjourn at 6:02.
Wow.
Good job, Jeremy. Way to go.